You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Tuesday the 4th of August, 2026. It is 44 days after the summer solstice. It is 49 days before the autumnal equinox. In today's episode, Long Island potatoes, the Coast Guard, Chicago's street grid, a liar gets his comeuppance, Louis Armstrong, Barack Obama, and mad dogs. The sun rises today at 5:55 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 1:02 p.m. The sun sets today at 8:08 p.m., civil twilight ends at 8:38 p.m., and nautical twilight ends at 9:15 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes, 7 seconds shorter than yesterday. The moon is in its waning gibbous phase and is 65% full at midday. The moon sets today at 12:12 p.m., and then it rises again at 10:51 p.m. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, high tide, 2:54 a.m., 1 meter 46. In the morning, low tide, 8:55 a.m., 9 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 3:18 p.m., 1 meter 65. At night, low tide, 9:33 p.m., 12 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, as the potato harvest gets underway, we can begin to see the small new potatoes arriving in the markets. The harvest will gather steam and culminate in September. Potatoes were once our island's iconic crop. By the 1940s, more than 1,000 farmers grew potatoes on more than 70,000 acres of land. Now only 3,000 acres of potato farms are left on Long Island. The rest have been swept away by suburban construction. In 1937, the Long Island Potato Festival took place in Suffolk County. Its centerpiece was a potato mountain from which sample bags of taters were given to visitors. A Long Island potato queen was crowned in a beauty competition for the daughters of Long Island potato farmers. We bet if you want local potatoes, Eliniki Agora on Grand Avenue would be a good place to go. Commemorations. Today is the birthday of the U.S. Coast Guard. On this day in 1790, at the behest of the Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton, the first Congress authorized the construction of 10 vessels to patrol U.S. ports. Called the Revenue Cutter Service, its mission was largely to enforce customs regulations. The Coast Guard as we know it today came to be in 1915, when the revenue cutters were merged with the U.S. Life-Saving Service. On this day in 1830, the first plan of Chicago was created by the surveyor Thomas Thompson at the behest of the Illinois and Michigan Canal Commissioners. He laid out a grid of uniform streets 66 feet wide, aligned to the cardinal points. One aspect of his plan was the inclusion of a 16-foot alley bisecting each block, creating a service access to the back of each building lot. Manhattan's grid was never provided with such an amenity. But with its perfect north-south alignment, it ignores the shore of Lake Michigan, creating a zigzag of irregular blocks along the lakefront. Manhattan's grid, by contrast, is aligned about 30 degrees off due north to align with the actual shape of the island. Just desserts. On this day in 2022, Alex Jones was ordered to pay $4.1 million in compensatory damages to parents of a child killed in the Sandy Hook massacre. The InfoWars conspiracy theorist had called the gun massacre a hoax and said its victims were paid actors. Parents of the slain children testified in court about being terrorized by Jones's supporters. What goes round comes round, eh, Alex? Today turns out to be the actual birthday of Louis Armstrong, born this day in 1901, at least according to most historians. The famous trumpet player and singer often claimed to be born on July 4th, 1900. We are never sorry to have an excuse to remember Satchmo, with his brilliant trumpet riffs and uniquely gravelly singing delivery. Remember Louis Armstrong, our neighbor in Corona, today. Today we wish a happy birthday to Barack Obama, born this day in 1961 in Hawaii. Yes, in Hawaii. We know all our listeners will have fully formed opinions of the former president. So we will simply say this. We miss the way his White House looked like the country we live in, filled with people of so many backgrounds. How much we also miss the White House science fairs that brought kids with their experiments to celebrate the love of learning and scientific experimentation. Happy birthday, Barack Obama. Finally, in the Western Christian calendar, today is the feast of Saint Sithne. The Irish monk was active in Cornwall and Brittany in the beginning of the Dark Ages. He is invoked against mad dogs. According to Breton legend, God himself asked Sithne to be the patron saint of girls seeking husbands, but the good saint replied, "I would rather be the patron saint of mad dogs and get some rest." And that is the Observatory, Tuesday the 4th of August, 2026.